What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Maverick Raven coming at you with another one. And like I've been saying all day, man, it's been a crazy news day, man. Crazy, crazy news day. I think this will be the last piece of news that I hit you guys up with today. So let's hope that nothing crazy happens again. But it says the Supreme Court seems sympathetic to Idaho's claim its strict abortion ban is valid. Because in Idaho, as soon as Roe v. Wade was overturned, they went serious with the abortion bans, dude. The issue is whether a federal law against patient dumping creates a backdoor exception to the state's strict abortion law. So, if you guys have been watching me for longer than a day, you guys probably know that I'm a conservative and I'm very pro-life. I think every life is a miracle and every life should be treated as a spark of divinity is in that child, because in my opinion it is. God created you, and therefore a spark of His, is in you. Whether we want to, get into like which religion is right or not, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying if you believe in God and you believe that God created us, then we're kind of special because we've got some of Him in us, at least some of His magic or whatever you want to call it. I call it His love, His grace. But it says most Supreme Court justices seemed inclined to accept Idaho's argument on April 24th that the state's strict abortion law does not conflict with a federal law that prevents hospitals from refusing to treat indigent emergency room patients. At the same time, liberal justices vigorously questioned whether the Idaho law is putting women in danger. That's really the only way that I support abortion, which is if it's putting the mother's life in danger. And even then, I mean, that's rough, man. Because I know my wife, she's amazing. If our baby would have been in danger, if it would have been her or our baby, I know my wife, she would have wanted me to pick our baby to live. That's my wife. She'd rather die than sacrifice a baby. But I know that not everybody's like that, and that's not like a criticism or anything like that. It's just that's the way she is. I got lucky, I guess. At the same time, liberal justices vigorously question whether the Idaho law is putting women in danger. Sorry about that. The court heard oral arguments in Moyle v. United States, which has been consolidated with Idaho v. United States. The lead applicant petitioner, Mike Moyle, is the Republican Speaker of Idaho's House of Representatives. The Conservative Alliance Defending Freedom is on Idaho's legal team. The case is about whether a state law that restricts abortion conflicts with a federal law that forbids patient dumping, the practice of hospitals refusing emergency treatment to people who can't afford to pay for medical services, which would be anybody in this economy. But the Biden administration says the state law runs afoul of the federal law, which requires that emergency room patients be provided stabilizing care. The administration also says that state abortion restrictions, such as Idaho's, have confused patients and healthcare professionals and delayed critical care for pregnant women. I call bullshit on that. They know the difference. Medical professionals know the difference between a voluntary, abortion and a mother needing medical, assistance on the double. At the same time, Idaho argues that federal law and the state law are not in conflict. Idaho says the federal government is trying to stretch the reach of the federal law to override the state's abortion ban as part of an effort to create a federal right to abortion. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. The Idaho case goes back to 2020 when the state enacted the Defense of Life Act with a built in triggering provision allowing it to take effect if Roe v. Wade were ever overturned. The law took effect in 2022 after the Supreme Court ruled in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. That decision, which reversed Roe v. Wade, found the U.S. Constitution does not protect the right to abortion and returned this regulation to the states. Idaho's Defense of Life Act forbids abortions except when necessary to prevent the death of a pregnant woman or during the first trimester when the pregnancy was the result of rape or incest. After the state law took effect, the Biden administration committed itself to undermining Dobbs and weakening state laws that restrict abortion, critics say. The Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, EMTALA, was passed by Congress in 1986 to ensure public access to emergency services regardless of ability to pay, according to a Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services summary. The Biden administration takes the position that Idaho's Defense of Life Act is preempted by EMTALA, which requires hospitals that receive Medicare funding to provide stabilizing treatment for emergency patients, and that such treatment includes abortions. Federal preemption means that a state law that conflicts with federal law is invalid. U.S. District Judge B. Lynn Windmill, appointed by President Bill Clinton, ruled in August 2022 that the Idaho law partly conflicts with EMTALA. The judge restrained Idaho from enforcing its state laws as applied to medical care required by EMTALA. I'm really tired of saying EMTALA. Just an FYI. This is a behind the scenes director's commentary. I'm really tired of saying EMTALA. In September 2023, a three-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit reversed the Idaho District Court's decision, finding that EMTALA and the state statute did not conflict, but 2 months later, the court reinstated the district court's injunction. The full circuit was preparing to hear the case, but on January 5th, the Supreme Court granted Idaho's request to lift the injunction pending the outcome of the case at the High Court. During oral arguments on April 24th, Idaho Deputy Solicitor General Joshua N. Turner said EMTALA and the Idaho statute do not conflict, and nothing in EMTALA requires doctors to ignore the scope of their license and offer medical treatments that violate state law, he said. The administration's misreading of EMTALA lacks any limiting principle, the attorney said. I gotta tell you, just from what I've read here and just from what I've seen, I don't think it conflicts, personally. I don't think it conflicts. I think that medical professionals obviously know what the hell's going on and what the difference is. And I do think that this the federal government trying to get more power and trying to basically make the to codify, abortion. And a lot of people aren't gonna have that, dude. A lot of people are not gonna have that. If ER doctors can perform whatever treatment they determine is appropriate, then doctors can ignore not only state abortion laws, but also state regulations on opioid use and informed consent requirements. Justice Elena Kagan asked what would happen if a state modified its abortion laws to prevent the treatment of ectopic pregnancies in which a fetus begins growing outside the uterus. In such a situation, the federal government should not intervene, Mr. Turner said. That understanding is a humble one with respect to the federalism role of the states, he said. Justice Kagan replied, it may be too humble for women's health. Justice Neil Gorsuch asked Mr. Turner to explain how close to death a patient needs to be under the state law for an abortion to be allowed. The justice also cited ectopic pregnancies, which can be life-threatening, but not always immediately. That's the thing, right? Like, I'm so tired. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. I'm so tired of people acting like, oh well, how can you be pro-life? How can you be so against abortion? Because it's murder, dude. Because it's murder, and you cannot fix anything with a wrong. You can't fix two wrongs don't make a right. Well, abortion is like the ultimate wrong if you think about how you're literally ending the life of an innocent baby who's never hurt anybody, hasn't had the chance to hurt anybody, has no voice. That's why you gotta kind of be the voice for the voiceless. It doesn't matter whether it happens tomorrow, next week, or a month from now, the justice said. There is no eminence requirement, Mr. Turner replied. This whole notion of delayed care is just not consistent with the Idaho Supreme Court's reading of the statute and what the statute says. U.S. Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelagar said the situation on the ground in Idaho is devastating. Because Idaho's laws makes an unauthorized abortion a felony, a woman experiencing medical problems who is not in danger of dying may not be given an abortion, she said. That's the law. That's the law. Doctors must decide to delay treatment or ship the patient out of state, which endangers patients, Ms. Prelagar said. The Idaho case comes as the Supreme Court deliberates another abortion-related appeal. Food and Drug Administration via Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine, which the court heard on March 26. A doctors group sued the Food and Drug Administration for loosening regulations pertaining to the abortion pill mifepristone, claiming the relaxation of the rules violates federal law. Advocates for mifepristone say the current system for dispensing the drug is safe, while opponents say it puts women at risk by ignoring safety measures that used to be in place. The Supreme Court is expected to rule on the mifepristone. I don't know why I have such a problem with that word, mifepristone or mifepristone. Let's go with mifepristone. It might be easier. And the Idaho case by the end of June. So there you have it, you guys. It's a little late today, so for all we know, we might get a little bit more news on this. I doubt it, but something to look out for. Anyways, you guys, what a news day, huh? What a news day. Days like this, I enjoy. They keep me, busy. But anyways, you guys, please, if you've hung out with me this long, I really appreciate, you guys putting up with my voice and my lame jokes, my lame dad jokes. So I appreciate you guys being here. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Please consider liking, sharing, and commenting. All that stuff, it means a lot to me and it helps grow the channel. But anyways, that's it, you guys. That's all I got. Stay safe and stay based.